All right, excited to bring you this story. Texas constantly grapples with invasive species. Armored catfish, the lionfish are just two. But now a new unwelcome visitor. In this week's Hooked on East Texas, we meet a team of researchers from the University of Texas at Tyler trying to stop the spread of the invasive Australian red claw crayfish.
This is a male red claw. They get their nickname from the red patches on their claws.
The Australian red claw crayfish, a monster invasive crayfish, potentially causing monstrous problems in Texas.
We don't know if they can outcompete our species. Indirect competition, eat fish larvae. We just don't know what they're doing in our ecosystems.
And that's why Texas Parks and Wildlife asked Dr. Lance Williams and his research team at the University of Texas at Tyler to track and study the newest invasive threat to Texas.
Are they spreading? Are they reproducing? So basically the status of this invasive species in Texas.
Tanks inside this room at the Williams lab are now home to red claws, captured in the field.
We mark them each individually based on what number we caught them and the location.
Graduate assistant Addie Munn is writing her master thesis on the red claw.
It's basically just establishing the distribution of the red claws in South Texas and estimating occupancy on the specific area.
The lab work includes measuring, weighing, and determining the sex.
At the base of the last walking leg, there's going to be protrusions, and those are the protrusions for the male.
Male and female red claws are kept in different tanks.
You can tell roughly how long they've been fertilized based on the color.
Munn showed us a female carrying hundreds of eggs. Researchers fear this is an alarming sign.
They are breeding rapidly, they're reproducing rapidly, multiple times a year.
That makes fieldwork vital to this study. Ground zero is Brownsville. Pictures from recent trips show how some red claws are caught with a seine, others caught using bait in a trap.
We actually use sardines and hot dogs, so we'll do a mix of both. They like the nasty smell.
The biggest question, how did they get here? The red claws are native to Australia. They didn't swim. Young red claws are called blue lobsters and are popular for in-home aquariums. Williams thinks someone dumped an aquarium into a resaca.
The place that we found them first was an apartment complex that has a water feature that drains into a resaca. If you know anything about apartment complexes, a lot of times when people release is over and they've got a fish tank, dump it.
Texas Parks and Wildlife wages a constant campaign against aquarium dumping, posting warnings on its website. So far, the invasive red claw is confined to the Brownsville area. But for how long?
It's alarming because if you love nature, you should be scared of what invasive species like this could do, especially if it were to hop over into a bigger body of water that could get more north.
The problem I see is if they can move further north and get further into our water bodies in Texas, then they start potentially competing with some of our native crayfish.
TPWD says there are alternatives to dumping fish tanks. You could find a new family, sell or trade your fish, or humanely euthanize your specimen or creature.